One of the highlights of the 2021 Disney Cars diecast line was definitely the NASCAR series. It brought back some of the beloved sponsors that Pixar neglected to implement into the third Cars movie and matched them up with real life, well known, famous NASCAR drivers. And it really created this great synergy between NASCAR and Disney Cars that the real life drivers were able to interact with and help promote the diecast line. Like, it really was just a great idea all around. Definitely one of the best expanded universe lines, quote unquote, that they've done in a very long time. Like, we thought Carbon Racers back in 2016 were hype. NASCAR is super exciting. And so the fact that it's returning in 2022 is awesome. We have at least 3 new ones this year, including this new variation of Lightning McQueen, which we will be reviewing today. Because everything's been kind of slow, there hasn't been any new cars, at least not that we know of, from the first 4 cases of 2022 singles. And obviously there's been no deluxe new sightings yet, and there hasn't been any 2-pack sightings, period. I decided it was proper to review this variant of NASCAR McQueen that I was able just to recently find in Hunt episode 19. And then, of course, we already know that Bubba Wheelhouse, his Torqueberry NASCAR racer, I reviewed him last month. He's one of the new ones. And we also soon will be getting the next-gen hostile takeover bank racer, Rowdy Revin Bush, obviously based on real-life driver Kyle Busch. A lot of people have been asking me to review him, and you know what? I would if I could. He's just not out yet. Simply put, he's just not out yet. So we're going to get right into it here. Obviously, these are exclusive to Walmart stores, and they retail for $4.99, more expensive than the regular main line because of these additional accessories. So they did change up the packaging to represent the new rims that they're putting on all the new releases, and this is, a direct parallel of the real-life NASCAR wheels that they are starting to implement as well. You can see the Mattel logo up there, of course, new for 2022 now. It's a little bit of a different logo, I think. They added a nice little shadow to it and a little bit more jagged edges. You can see the NASCAR name tag, Lightning McQueen. So they are still doing these packages as they always used to. They are not switching to the just like streamline, whatever they like to call it, packages where the blisters are molded around the diecast. Now, I absolutely love that they show all of these. Like, all these are just great releases here on the back. You have Jackson Storm, who's probably the worst of the bunch. Ryan Inside Laney. Danny Swervez. Eric Amarolling. Gogo Logano. There you have Bubba Wheelhouse himself. He looks kind of different in this stock image. He looks like he's much darker, like in the center, and only purple, like in the very front. It's very strange. And then the upcoming Rowdy Revin Bush, who looks amazing as the next-gen HTB racer. So that will really only leave the next-gen Taco Mint to be desired, and hopefully they do end up releasing him as well. I don't really see why they wouldn't. Just find a NASCAR driver who's willing to get his name paired with it, and if I was a NASCAR driver, I'd be honored, right? So, all right, guys, I'll be right back with this one all opened up. So believe it or not, this is actually the 3rd variation of NASCAR Lightning McQueen, which is pretty wild since he was just released a year ago. The first one is, of course, his just normal single release that came out a year ago, along with Mater, Luigi and Guido, and Jackson Storm. That was the initial wave. And it's funny because that initial wave, like, we all knew it was like a cool line that they were doing that, but it had no foretelling. It did not forewarn us of the greatness that was to come. It's not like they sprinkled, like, I don't know, let's say they put Gogo Logano in the first wave too. We would have been immediately incited and would have been like, oh my God, they're doing the next gen, missing racers, blah, 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 blah. But we had really no idea until they revealed them through some announcements, right? That first wave just gave us no signs whatsoever. So it's really interesting how they did that. But anyways, yeah, this is your first variation of him, which I reviewed. I'll leave that link in the description below and card suggestion pop-up as well. I reviewed them all together in that first wave. And then the second variation is from that 5-pack that was exclusive to Walmart.com. with Cruz Ramirez in it, the King, Junior Moon, and Mario Andretti. The only difference is pretty much this mouth here. You can see that the mouth on the first version is longer. The decals on this one are also just terrible. Like, you can see how cloudy they are, especially in the corner here. These contingency sponsors are just brutal. They're terrible, and they're distinctly different. You can also see how sharp a yellow line that is right there, and yet here it's all like blurry and foggy. It's like this is like a gigantic thunderstorm coming through and just destroying everything, making everything look watery and just smushed, as if like somebody just like smeared the paint. Where here this is like perfect conditions, nice and straight laced, right? And it's all like that. Like every single decal is like that, and it's really disappointing because I mean, both of them are made in Vietnam, right? So I don't know what happened, but that 5-pack version is just terrible. Like, there is no way around it. I love cars, I love collecting, but I'm going to be straight up with you guys and say that this 5-pack version of McQueen is terrible. They make you think it looks pretty good because the hood decal is fine. But when you get to the sides and everything, like, it's just, there's no comparison whatsoever. So I'm just going to discard that one. We don't even need to worry about that. I'll just use this one for the main comparison. So there are two main differences now, and those are obviously the expression and the rims. So I like this expression. They make McQueen look a little less robotic and a little bit more cool because he's kind of like winking. He's got a little bit more swagger to him. Although I'm not a big fan of like how cloudy the white space is. Like, you can see that it's a very like tainted red white space, whereas this is a pure white background there for the eyes. So it's a little strange, but at least he looks a little less robotic. Now, another difference I'm just noticing now, and you'll really only notice this in person, is that the red paint is actually kind of metallic. It has a little sparkle to it, and you could see how, you know, the light hits it, and you can see the sparkles reflect off of that, where you don't on this version. So that's actually really cool that they change the paint to be a little bit metallic-y. That's actually really cool. I'm happy about that. Now, a lot of people have mixed feelings on these rims, but I don't think they look bad at all. I think they look cool, and I'm glad that they're implementing them to continue to innovate and, you know, reflect the real-life NASCAR brand. So there you go. It still says Lightyear, but he's in that next-gen font instead of the normal font. So McQueen's got a little upgrade there. He feels a little bit more special. So still the decals are a little blurry and all that, but they aren't as bad as that one version I just showed you. I do still think this one looks the best. So you just look at that yellow line right there compared to that one. This white looks purer white than that. That has like a little red taint to it. Everything else is pretty similar. Rust-eze. Let's take a look at the base on this one. I think this means he was made in the 281st day of 2021. The 1 is for 2021 at the SD factory, of course, in Vietnam. This guy was made, I bet he was probably made, I guess I won't guess, you guys won't believe me. That one time I guessed, I was so far off, it wasn't even funny. Yep, the 265th day of 2020, so a little more than a year prior. Wow, like a year and 16 days or something, right? Nope, maybe 14 days. Yeah, no, I think it was 16 days. I'm good at math, but it's like 10 p.m. So yeah, there you guys have it. There are your 3 variations of NASCAR Lightning McQueen. Obviously, this one is inferior, objectively, of course. And then these two are the ones that we can debate about. This is a little bit metallic-y, and everything has like a little red taint tarnish to it, and the new expression. So I think they're both great in their own ways. I probably would lean toward this one just because I think the quality is a little bit better, but I like that the red is even different. Like, they changed up the paint. Like, they didn't have to do that, and maybe it was even unintentional, but it looks pretty cool. And the pit stop barrier is the exact same here. So this is the version with the new version, the new variant. This is your first original variant. So maybe the yellow is a little bit different, but to me, they're pretty much the same. And then this is the one that you got in the 5-pack. Wow. I have 3 of these. Oh, that's a lot. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comment section below which one is your favorite. And if you can't decide, how about just let me know who's your favorite NASCAR release so far. They have included Danny Swervez, Eric Amarola, and Gogo Logano. I think Ryan Inside Lady as well. All of them are in the new case with Bubba and this new version of McQueen, but they did not change the rims on those. However, it's great that they're back because I know some people struggled to find them the first time they were out. And Cruz is a super underrated release because she was only in that 5-pack. So my predictions, honestly, I think that we'll get a single release of Cruz with the new rims. And I think we will get a next-gen Taco Mint. I'm optimistic like that. At least I really hope so. So I'll see you guys soon for another video. Bye now.